Good morning. Good morning, you guys. Okay, there we go. Where's my playlist? Can't do it without the music. Cannot do it this morning without the music. Welcome, everybody. I hope that you got some good sleep. Happy Thursday. We're almost there to the weekend. I hope that your guys' week is okay. We definitely have a lot of... we definitely got some big iffy transits coming next week, which I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not that excited about them, but I'm going to try to remain optimistic. I am going to have an all signs pertaining to that specifically for tomorrow. So make sure that you look out for that. Welcome to All Signs. This is going to be what is coming for you. So whatever it is, it could be love, it could be money, it could be work. Whatever it is, we're going to take a look at it. So basically whatever comes out, okay? If you guys do want to book a super chat question, you can get 20% off and you can book within the next 5 minutes by clicking the link. That is my pinned comment in the chat section. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis, okay? And as always, if you guys want a personal reading, I do sell those on Hipsy as well as my personal website, which is violettaalexis.com. And of course, doesn't really matter which one of your placements you watch for. It just doesn't. Why is that? Well, these are general readings, okay? So it really does not matter. If you're not sure which one you should watch today, you can always super chat me and ask me, and I'll pull a card for you, and I'll let you know which sign you should watch for you. All righty. All right. What's up, Mojo? I woke next to the Bugatti dealer shop. That's pretty cool. You know, there are worse places to wake up. What's up, Candy? I'm doing okay. What's up, Unique? What's up, Lay? It's nice to see you. Hey, Love Frequency. What's up, Zenergy? Cool, buddy. I don't know what you're saying. Okay. And I'm not sure if I can trust it. So unfortunately, I'm just going to have to hide your comments for now. You never know what people are commenting or saying on the tarot community, in the tarot community. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. Okay, to be honest with you. All right. Are you guys? So let's see what is going on for you guys this weekend. I don't know if you have any plans this weekend. It is my daughter's 12th birthday. She has been sick this entire week with a little bit of a fever, so it definitely sucks, but I got her a cool couple little presents, so hopefully she'll like it. This Christmas is super expensive. Not even gonna lie to you. Therapy, it works. Troll people find it. You know what? I found that this is going to sound like I'm tooting my own horn, and I genuinely don't mean to, but I feel like I don't think that I go to therapy to understand self-awareness. I'm so incredibly self-aware that it's on the verge of painful. If I'm ever going to go to therapy, it's just going to go to dump my shit, just to dump my shit and just to make sure that I'm not crazy or being gaslit in my life. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really, I think it's more of a validation. Like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, that's weird, right? And then they're like, either yes or no. I think that's what I'd really go there for. But therapy can be super helpful for people, definitely. Just seems like a big bitching session. Well, I think that sometimes we need that, right? Okay. I have no idea what that was about. I think it's because we have that Mercury opposite Uranus still. So I'm going to assume that that's what it's about. All right. Well, I think that's my cue just to go ahead and get on with it. So, again, you guys, welcome to All Signs. We're going to take a look at what is coming towards you for this weekend. As always, if you would like to book a super chat question for 20% off, you can do that within the next couple of minutes. Hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis, or you can just click the pinned comment or the pinned link in the chat box. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. After Aries, I'm going to turn on the clock for Hipsy. So after the Aries reading, the discount will no longer be available, or not the Aries reading. Okay, you guys tell me which sign you want to go for. That's good, Zenergy. What sign do you guys want to start out with? Aries. Damn, Shannon won. Okay, I guess we are starting out with Aries. All right, let's do it. All right, Aries, let's see what is going on for you. For this weekend, you're in the Seven of Wands reversed. Okay. The Hermit reverse. I'm going to be honest with you. You guys are a little paranoid. You guys are a little paranoid this weekend. And I think that for a lot of you, it could be a sense of, and forgive me, okay? But you guys may be feeling a little defensive. You guys may be paranoid that somebody is jealous of you, or they're trying to take something from you, or they have ulterior motives. And while I'm not saying you're totally incorrect, like, this person or whomever these people are, whatever, better than I do, but I will say that you are letting something or someone or a group of people kind of get the best of you a little bit. And so I just want to say, like, be cautious specifically with how you're thinking about something, because you can bring old paranoias, old mental issues into this weekend, and you could end up finding out that you end up putting your foot in your mouth a little bit or feeling kind of silly. It may also be this energy of total isolation. It's like you could be feeling a little down or a little tired. I know that Mars is going to be squaring Neptune here pretty soon. So we're coming up on that applying square, and Mars is your ruler. So we can be feeling a little out of it or tired, or feeling like we don't really have the drive that we used to. And because of that, to be honest with you, Aries, you could just be in your little hidey hole, in your little hidey hole. The Queen of Swords is here, so that's really good. It's like you whatever paranoias you may end up having, or where you may end up overthinking, there's something within you, which I think is called wisdom, where you're allowing that to make decisions for you. So, maybe you are paranoid about a group of people or about a specific person, and you're like, okay, let me think about this logically. You may be communicating with someone that you don't want any kind of correspondence or communication. For some of you, maybe you're cutting people out, or anybody who makes you feel like you don't, I guess, belong, or like they're trying to compete with you. So, I think that you have a pretty good head on your shoulders about it. It's like you have a moment. I think you're able to get yourself out of it. As far as what's coming towards you, the Tower. Yeah, it can feel like something happens out of the blue. What is that? The World. The Ace of Wands. Okay, well, that's good. It almost feels like a bit of a forced ending, if I'm going to be honest. Because the Tower there, it's like, it's going to happen. It's going to destruct. It's not going to work. It's just, that's it. It's something's kind of shit in the bed, I guess, for a lack of a better term. And it's forcing an ending, but I think that you're going to find, I'm actually really glad that this happened. For instance, when I started my social media job, I guess you could say, back in 2016, I was focused so much on social media, and I was so dedicated and just spending all of my time doing it, that when I showed up to my waitress job one day, they're like, yeah, you're fired. You know what I'm saying? And like, honestly, best thing never happened to me. Like, one of the best things that ever happened to me was getting fired from my waitressing job. So it's like, for a minute, you're like, shit, what am I going to do? Because then the next day, just so happened, the next day I got a contract from the live streaming company that I was working for, and they wanted to make me a partner on the platform. And so I did it. And so I was like, okay, that really sucked for a minute, but I had to trust and have faith that my efforts were going to see it through. And they did. And so I feel like for some of you, I'm not saying you're getting fired, but it can be something where something that you've been working on or built kind of comes to a close, and then you're happy about it. It actually motivates you more, and you get to start something new. The Wheel of Fortune reverse. I feel like you're going to be tested. Are you going to hold on to old patterns? Are you going to try to force something to work when it's meant to leave your life? Or are you just going to kind of let it go? Because I see in that energy with that Seven of Wands reversed and the Hermit reversed, you are kind of getting in your head about it, you know, which is very natural. But you do come out of it on the other side with a sane mind. But something is going to ask you to come out of your comfort zone. And I think that's where the complexity of it comes from. The Five of Swords reverse. Yeah, don't get too in your head about it. You know, I think that you'll have a moment, and that's fine. We all do. But this is something I think bigger than it looks in the moment. Pluto is your advice. This is about change and transformation. This is like ripping the weeds out from the root and starting brand new. And then you have Behind the Veil. Oh man. Behind the Veil, welcome uncertainty as an opportunity for growth and be okay with not knowing. So again, it may feel like the rug is kind of pulled out from under you a little bit, but it is for the better. And you're going to see that. You just kind of have to trust it, Aries. Okay. Thanks a lot, Aries. All right, now it's time to turn on my little Hipsy thing. There we go. Start event. Bink. Perfect. I was up here looking up P. Diddy's natal chart because I finally finished that documentary. Ugh, how atrocious. Just kick atrocious, bitch. That. He is terrible. He really is terrible. My goodness. And then I was looking up like 50 Cent's birth chart and everything. Anyway, of course, I went down a rabbit hole. Anybody that loves astrology, I'm sure can relate. Yeah, it was pretty bad. The worst. And that's what I'm saying, you guys. Like, you know, you look at somebody who, like, we think about Venus and Jupiter as the benefics in astrology, right? We see that and we're like, yay, Venus and Jupiter. But I really believe that because, like, he has Venus conjunct Jupiter in Libra. Venus in its domicile, it's all good and well. Jupiter is catering to Venus because he's in her rulership. It's conjunct, the greater benefics, blah, blah, blah. But what do we see? What is Libra? How we relate to others, how we are in relationships to others, and how he played people against one another. You see, the benefics are always, I don't always trust the benefics. You can't, sometimes it can go like too crazy. It's like he wanted power over people, you know, and obviously, you know, has a little to do with his Scorpio stuff as well, I would imagine. But I feel like it is something in regards to that. Anyways, I'm not going to get on that. Let's go ahead and move on. Thank you, Candy. Everybody hashtag Candy in the chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Candy. Thank you for being so supportive of me and my channel. So let's go ahead and take a look at Taurus. Taurus, let's see what you have going on this weekend. The Three of Wands reverse. Seems like something isn't really panning out. You could be getting a little impatient because you feel like you've put some work into something, or you put some kind of plan in place, or it's that you're realizing your plan is kind of faulty and you're needing to go back a little bit. Be careful of any kind of self-sabotage with that High Priestess reverse. The Nine of Pentacles reverse. You don't have to pretend to know everything, Taurus. You know, it's okay to like not know. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just have to try to be better than who you were yesterday, you know? And even if it's just a tiny little bit, whether that's spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally, whether it's, who knows, right? Whatever it is, maybe you want to be educated on something more, but you don't have to pretend to know something. It's okay to not know. I also want you to be cautious because like something that the reason why you're actually frustrated is because you're putting so much emphasis on what everybody else thinks about what you're trying to do or what you're trying to obtain or what you look like. And the Nine of Pentacles reverse can have you going out of your way in an attempt to try to prove something to other people, when you don't need to do that. You just need to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that you're doubting your own potential with that High Priestess reverse. And I think it's just because you're disorganized. This is Venus in Virgo. It's reversed. So what is Virgo energy in its shadow self? It's analysis paralysis. It's, we're being picky. We're being overly critical. And the South Node is in Virgo. We have to let go of that stuff, as hard as it is. I'm a 6th house stellium. I'm a Virgo sun. I get it. But it's not going to get you anywhere. That's why you're hitting a wall. We're going to see a lot of squares to Saturn, and it's going to make you realize why or how you're hitting a wall. Okay. Thanks a lot, Candy. Have a good one. The Ace of Swords reversed for what's coming towards you. The Ace of Swords reversed, the 6 of Swords reversed, and the 5 of Wands reversed. You have all reversals. What's the intention here from this 10 of Cups? It's like weird because there's somebody from your past. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's a friend. I don't know if it's somebody that wants this with you. This is the intent, the 10 of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment, emotional support, giving and or receiving. I mean, both, to be honest. It's the 10 of Cups. But whomever this is, they're either not telling the full truth about something from the past, or they're wanting some level of peace with you. But at the same time, it's like they're not willing to let something go. Maybe it's some kind of narrative. But it feels like they're there, but they're not actually doing anything. Like they're present, but they're not saying anything. It's like, maybe your friend Tracy, you guys worked together and you guys had a little bit of, had it out at some point. And she just kind of like hovers around and looks at you from time to time, but she doesn't she doesn't say anything. She doesn't create peace, and she also doesn't create any drama. You see what I'm saying? And so, and somebody is here because they want that emotional connection with you. Maybe it's a family member that you've been estranged from for a while, and they just keep looking at your Instagram story, but they're not saying anything. Or like it's somebody from the past that you had a problem with before, where maybe there were lies or deceit or some mind games. Okay. What are you doing about that? The Hierophant, the King of Pentacles, the Lover's reverse. Anything that is not aligned with your vision for the future and what you're attempting to build, or what your expectations are, standards for yourself and for others, it shouldn't have a place in your life. The Hierophant is about our fundamental values and our morals, what we believe in. And the Lover's reverse is where that is disconnected, where we're needing to go back a couple of steps. If something isn't working, you're needing to be honest with yourself. But continue to focus on your spiritual practices and allow yourself to remain grounded and focus on your money and your material value as well. Okay. You have Jupiter. Okay. Well, Jupiter's in Cancer right now. Roots of success. So Jupiter's in Cancer, and then it says roots of success. Cancer has natural affiliations with the 4th house, which is basically like the roots of your chart. It is literally your roots, your childhood roots, your family roots, your ancestral roots. And so I'm kind of wondering if there's something here where maybe you need to spend more time with your family, or maybe you're needing to go, because Jupiter can also be about travel. Maybe you're needing to travel to your hometown or something like that, where family is. It says secure your foundation, fostering growth and stability for a thriving journey ahead. So I told you, you really need to focus on your finances and making money right now. With Jupiter in Cancer, like for instance, if you're a Taurus rising, Jupiter in your third house, transiting in your third house retrograde right now, maybe you're needing to move to a new neighborhood, but maybe you're needing to do some content creation or something that's going to make you some money, or maybe you're needing to write a book or make a podcast, right? Third house things in order to create that income and that wealth for yourself so you have a healthy foundation. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Taurus. Thank you. Let's move on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini. You're in the energy of the Two of Swords this weekend. The Seven of Swords. You're avoiding something. What are we avoiding? Or we don't want to look at Six of Pentacles. Do you owe somebody money? So yeah, I'm just going to be honest with you. Some of you guys owe people money. Okay. You may owe somebody a little bit of coin. All right. Because the Two of Swords is like, we're not looking at it. We're blind to it. We don't want to see it, or, maybe we don't actually, but the Two of Swords and the Seven of Swords combined is a very avoidant energy. It's somebody who's trying to get away with something. Now, for some of you, maybe it's reversed. All right. But if we're avoiding the Six of Pentacles, this can be giving something to someone else. Usually the pentacles are financial, okay? It's something material, it's something tangible, something you can touch, taste, feel, smell. Maybe it's just your overall energy. It's Moon in Taurus, so maybe it is emotional stability or a shoulder to cry on. You seem to be avoiding it altogether. Like I don't want to touch that. I don't want to not. No. For some reason. Why? The Three of Pentacles. For some of you, if it's around a collaboration, you may be wanting to work with somebody else and avoiding another potential collaboration, or working on a project with somebody because you see value in one more than the other, or maybe it's love, maybe it's whatever, but for some of you, you're avoiding a collaboration altogether. Okay. And maybe it's just because you feel like somebody is, I don't want to say that you think like this, but it can be where we think that somebody is beneath us. Okay. Or no, this is too small for me, and like, hey, to each their own. I don't know your story or whatever, but it can be something like that. Okay. What's coming towards you? The Eight of Swords reversed. I see. The Nine of Cups reversed. Okay, that makes more sense. And that's, I see. It feels like to me there's a situation in your life where you're kind of looking at it like, as Minnow Pontero would say, is the juice worth the squeeze? You may feel like somebody is kind of a victim of their own circumstance a little bit, is what I'm getting with that. And because of this, they're kind of acting in their own selfish interests or selfish desires. And you may see it as more of a burden. So, for instance, let's say that your friend Jerry lives with his mom, and he really doesn't like his mom because he thinks his mom is really a big meanie to him. And so one day he gives you a call this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and he's like, oh, I punched another hole in the wall and now my mom is trying to kick me out. You think you can let me sleep on your couch? And you're like, well, Jerry, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I feel like you got to stop this shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. Ooh, The Ten of Swords. I don't think you're going to deal with it. I don't think you're going to deal with it. Ten of Swords, Page of Pentacles reversed, Ace of Cups reversed. No, the door is closed. You seem to be like, oh yeah, Jerry, it's nice to see you. You know, you walk past him in the grocery store one day and you just kind of hang your hat a little bit lower so they don't look you in the eye. You know, it's like a very awkward. So I don't know what that is. Jerry's got to take care of it himself. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, let's see what your advice is. The Sun reversed. Ignite ambition, pursue desires with drive, and face consequences bravely. Keep an open mind as answers reveal your journey. For some of you, this is a person who's helped you out before. Okay, for a small few of you, this is somebody who's helped you out before, but you don't want to help them. Okay, I'm just being honest. I'd be careful of allowing you, like, I'm not saying you're like this, but I'd be careful of allowing any kind of a sense of entitlement or pride or ego would take the forefront for you this weekend. I feel like there's something that you need to face because, again, it's showing that you're avoiding something, and the fact that this says face consequences bravely. You know, now for some of you, it can be that you made a promise to someone and they didn't get what they wanted. And now they have all of this like heavy lifting on their back. I don't know. Maybe you told Jerry that you were going to rent out a 2-bedroom apartment with him. He went and put down the down payment. And now you're like, I don't really want to do that anymore. And now he's stuck paying. You know, I'm not saying that's what it is, but it's the best example I can give off of the top of my head. So I don't know, just be cautious with that, Gemini. Obviously, that's not for all of you. It just could be reversed. Okay, maybe somebody owes you something. I don't know. Again, these are just general messages. All right. Don't take it too personal. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Cancer. Cancer, let's see what's coming towards you this weekend. You have the Devil reversed in your energy. Okay. The Sun reversed. Love that. And the Judgment reverse. Well, okay. On a positive note, there really is an awareness around the self. The Sun is the self. It's our soul. It's what our soul came here to do. It's also our ego and our pride and sometimes our pessimism. For a lot of you, there's a past situation that you're really not wanting to take accountability for, or you're not really wanting to look at it, although there is an awareness of it within itself. And I love that there's an awareness of either ego, pride, selfishness, or you're just you can be kind of negative Nancy sometimes. And, you know, Cancers, you know, you guys aren't shy of being a little moody. You know what I mean? I mean, God help your soul, right? The moon, your ruler, only moves into a new sign every couple of days. So it can feel like you're in a different mood every 2 to 3 days. You know what I'm saying? I really can't blame you. And so I think something like that is going on, but again, you're really not like there's a lot of self-doubt that is occurring. Like you're really doubting yourself. And that's what happens when we become so self-aware, right? Where we see the error of our ways. But remember, we can also see, because we have a consciousness awareness about ourselves and our problems and our addictions or our fears or whatever is holding us back, that we can actually do something about it. So you have the awareness and you have the ability, but it's up to you on whether or not you want to change something. Okay. So if it is like a pessimistic attitude, for instance, right? You have the awareness that it's there. You just have to switch your line of thinking, which is like easier said than done, right? Tell me about that Judgment reversed, the Four of Cups reversed. Yeah, I think it's especially because you seem to be very disappointed with something. you're like disappointed, feeling rejected, or, you know, even to an extent, feeling a little victim-y. You know what I mean? We've all been there. I was feeling like a victim this morning. I mean, you know, we just get in that mind frame. It's just what happens. I also have my moon in my first house, so I can relate, right? Um, so I don't know. I mean, like, it's there, but you're not wanting to accept why something happened. And I think it's because you played a hand in it. And the more that we push our reasoning onto another person, or why something didn't work out onto another person, sometimes it's totally valid, the more power we give to others, the more control we give to others over our own personal circumstances, right? What's coming towards you? The Two of Cups. So there's a little bit of cushion in all of this. There can be somebody from the past who comes back around with that Eight of Cups reverse, somebody that you have a very sweet soulmate connection with, somebody who understands you. Could be another Cancer with that Chariot there. So we have Capricorn, Leo, Scorpio, and Cancer. Interesting combination. This may be a friend, okay? This may be a friend or a lover, but it is somebody that you know, that you're very well aware of. And it seems like they're a little afraid to say something, or they're kind of like, okay, well, should I or shouldn't I? But they kind of push through it anyway, and they just do it. This person may drive to come and see you, or may drive to come and meet you somewhere. There may be a road trip in order. What's this person's intention? The Eight of Pentacles. It seems like they're trying to work through something with you, or trying to work on something with you. I mean, this person is pretty in control. This is a strong water energy, like a very emotional person, but not in a chaotic way. That Chariot is in the upright, which shows me they have a level of emotional control. So it seems like they're trying to help. I say that as well because the Eight of Pentacles is Sun in Virgo. Virgo is a helper. Okay, that's not all they are, but how you're going to deal with this is the Empress. Oh, the Temperance reversed. The Seven of Cups. Don't get pregnant, okay? Or don't get somebody else pregnant, because that could happen this weekend, all right? Keep it in your pants or wrap it up. Don't want that. Snip, snip, you know, something. Anyway, there's what you're doing is you're kind of just receiving. You're being quite receptive and nurturing of whatever this is. But there is a level of discontentment here. And I think it's because you're not really sure what to think about something. You may feel like this is a fantasy, or you may be wearing rose-colored glasses a little bit. So you're kind of like, I don't know. The Empress is beautiful, though. That's a beautiful card. Because you're figuring out how to put something back into balance, but you're not going to overgive yourself to make it happen. Something like that. You have Fire reversed, and you have Ride the Current. Well, current is water, and we have fire reverse. So I feel like this is more emotional, requires more emotional intelligence, which you guys definitely have most of the time, than it does fire, anger, passion, or whatever. Embrace change, flow with the rhythm, and release resistance. Answers unfold in the dance of transition. Okay. So, you know, don't make this harder than it needs to be. And only you are going to know how to do that or not do that. And so this is asking you not to get too enraged or upset or out of control or whatever. It's just asking you to kind of go with the flow. Don't push, don't pull, just be. you know, with whatever this particular situation is, Cancer. I meant to say as well, some of you are detaching from an old identity. I say that because the sun can be your identity, especially if it wasn't serving you. Okay. But that would require you looking back at the past in order to reconstruct the present. Okay. Which I think that you're having a hard time with. Something like that. Okay. Thanks a lot, Cancer. That's what I have for you. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to Leo. Where did I put those cards? Am I crazy? Okay. Yes, I am. Oh, thanks, Enigma. What's up, Christina? Happy holidays, baby. Okay. Sorry, I hope I didn't look like I was just making a nasty resting bitch face. I think it's the way that I do my eyebrows that makes me look like that. Anyway, Leo, let's see what's coming towards you for this weekend. You're in the energy of the Five of Pentacles. Why is that? The Knight of Pentacles reverse. Okay. The Four of Swords. Well, you know, just be cautious with your money this weekend. Be a little cautious with your money. You know, I can see this as a couple of different ways. I mean, first of all, I think that you're hurting over something or someone or some incident, and you're feeling a little alone or you're feeling a little left out. And you could honestly be being very critical of yourself this weekend. You know, you can be kind of you know, pointing your finger in your own face at the mirror and shaming yourself for something, and that's really not going to get you anywhere. You know, I think that you feel like life is just on stuck mode this weekend, and keep in mind, guys, it's just the weekend, right? It's not a whole month or anything like that, and you're just feeling a little stuck. And I think that a lot of you are kind of going within and deciding to maybe hang out at the house this weekend or just try to be alone. Like maybe you try to go out and you're like, yeah, I feel like I'm alone in a fucking crowd. You know, why am I even here? And so for some of you, you could just end up staying indoors a little bit. But a lot of you are really like, you're very concerned. You're very concerned with what someone or what other people are thinking about a specific maybe a financial situation, or what people may think about you being abandoned or you having to abandon someone else, or like it's just a kind of it's a little melancholy. You know, I can't lie to you. It is a little melancholy. Okay. But again, it's not going to last forever, and I'm going to walk you through it here. What's that Four of Swords about? The King of Swords reversed. You may have felt like you were lied to or gaslit, or it can be that you just feel as though you don't have any information. Like you're trying to heal from something, but there are missing pieces to the puzzle that are making you feel it's like somebody just goes missing one day and you never hear from them again, and you don't know if they're dead. You don't know if they're. I'm not saying that's what's happening. Okay, sorry, I tend to be a little bit morbid with my Venus and Pluto and Scorpio, all right, which I'm ruled by. So I hate to make those very dark, whatever, but it's just like an unknowing, like a not knowing. What's coming towards you? Page of Swords reverse. What's that about? The Queen of Cups. The Fool reversed. So I asked, like, it looks like a feminine energy here. And when I asked what this person's intent was, I got the Four of Pentacles, like intent with you. I got the Four of Pentacles. Somebody cares about you, maybe is in love with you, cares for you deeply, but they're making some pretty bad assumptions about you, or they're just making assumptions about your overall situation or what you're thinking, etc., which is causing them to be quite apprehensive. Like, this is somebody who is like, yeah, I think I'm safer over here, you know, for some reason. And the way that you would know who this person is, they're likely somebody who's very emotionally intelligent. They can be very creative, very intuitive as well, just a very sensitive being. It could be a Cancer with that Queen of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but it doesn't really matter. Why? Why are they apprehensive? The Eight of Wands, because of some kind of communication that has occurred. Like, I don't know if you're pressing something too hard, or they overheard something, you know, but it's like this person is very hesitant. And it can be for some of you that this is somebody who relays some level of information to you, but they may believe the information that, like, for instance, if somebody spread a rumor about you and they overheard it and now they're telling it to you, they're telling it in a way that may make you feel like they believe the rumor that they heard. You know what I'm saying? And you see how this person's like, see how her hands are up in the air? Like, that's just what I heard. That's just what I heard. Like, it's something like that. That's what it feels like. She's like, I don't know. I mean, not my monkeys, not my circus, kind of thing. What you're going to do about this, Six of Cups reverse. This is how you're responding to this situation. Three of Swords. Dang, why is the Five of Cups? Why is the energy today so pathetic? I don't want to say pathetic, but like sad. I feel like all of my readings are like this. Well, not all of them, but damn. I mean, you're definitely holding a grudge, Leo. Like, I can't lie to you. You're holding a grudge, and you're hurt, and you're regretting a lot of things, and you're looking back at the past. And, you know, I feel like definitely process your feelings, but be cautious of getting too stuck in that cycle. Okay. House 12 reversed. Well, what are the shadow parts of House 12? And I only ask that because it's reversed. House 12 is where we refuse to let go of something. It can be where we let our own fears sabotage ourselves. Are you sabotaging yourself in some way? Are there any kind of mental health issues or addictions that you're needing to take care of? You know? And then it says, making plans, chart your course with intention. The future is yours to design and navigate. So you need to get up. Okay. After this weekend, I need you to wake up bright and early. That means you go to bed at a decent time. House 12 reverse, or House 12, not House 12 reverse. House 12 can also be about your sleep habits, right? Or just sleep in general. And so I feel like you need to get the fuck out of the house. Like, whatever it is that you're doing, like, especially if you've been vegging out all weekend, if you've been vegging out all week, if you've just been sad and lonely and, you know, whatever, like, that's fine. Absolutely process your feelings. And now I need you to go find a healthy coping mechanism for you to be able to deal with those feelings. Okay. Because otherwise it's going to turn into something else. Believe me, I know someone who came out of addiction. You know, it could be alcoholism, overeating, you know, trying to fuck your way out of pain. Okay. Done all this, by the way. You know, whatever it is. So don't do that. Make sure that you're incorporating a healthy coping mechanism so that way it doesn't turn into something ugly where you don't even recognize yourself. Okay. Ooh. What's up, 12th house stellium? Well, yeah, I mean, Mira, You know, we're still coming off that full moon in Gemini, which I actually have been enjoying. Um, but we're also coming up on all of these transits. Mercury is just moving into Sagittarius today, I believe. And we're going to see all of those squares. Mars square Saturn, we just saw that. Mars is going to square Neptune. And then guess what's going to happen? The sun, because it's following right behind Mars, is going to do that as well. It's going to square Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Then Venus is coming up behind the sun. She's going to square Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Then Mercury is going to come through there, and he's going to square Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. And so it's exhausting. You know, it can feel very humbling and exhausting, and like we don't have the motivation. You know, we get our ego melted a little bit. You know, things like this. So yeah, not my most favorite. Super fun squares. You know what happened to me on that Mercury opposite Uranus that was exact yesterday? I've never had any issues with traffic taking my daughter to school. It took me 2 full hours to get there and come back. And it was trying to say that there was construction on the road. There was never any construction on the road. We were seeing signs of no construction. No lanes were closed off. Just a stupid cop sitting there in his car holding a sign. And then finally he takes it off. And then we're all moving smooth. It was like total like Mercury opposite Uranus, you know, bringing delays with cars, vehicles, traffic, things like that. It's just fucking annoying. Ugh, it was so annoying. Anyway, sometimes it can just be like when Mercury has these oppositions, they can be like an inconvenience or something that's annoying. It's just annoying. You know, like I remember when Mercury went into Capricorn, it was like the first day. Mercury goes into Capricorn, all of a sudden my card isn't working. And they're like, ma'am, your card was declined. I'm like, what? And I called the bank and they're like, ma'am, we have no idea why this card is declining. Like literally, you know, because Mercury rules my second house of my money, right? And I'm like, oh my God, this is so annoying. Like it's just a fly at a barbecue. It's more annoying. Hello. Thank you so much, Rita. I really appreciate that. All right, so I'm currently living on my Pluto line. Ew, I will never move on my Pluto line. I'm currently living on my Chiron line. Been living there for the past 20 years. I hate it. I hate it. Oh my God, I want to get out of here. All right, so Virgo, let's see what's coming towards you this weekend. You're in the energy of the King of Wands. Okay. I like it. The Knight of Wands. Oh. And the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, Virgo. You're pretty fired up this weekend, but it's not just like an ember or a dying flame. It's some kind of inspiration that you have this weekend that is forceful enough to make you actually do something with it. So maybe you have a really great business idea. Maybe it's like you want to, you know, you've been writing a course or something. And so you start really like writing this course and you actually finish it this weekend. And then you buy the subscription to whatever course platform you want to host your course. And there it is, right? But whatever it is, it's very entrepreneurial. It's very passionate. You're really excited, you know, and you're just kind of, you're all over the place, but you have a direction. Like there's a method to your madness this weekend. And so there's some kind of, what is this about with the Ace of Pentacles? The Seven of Pentacles. I feel like you have your hands in a couple of different cookie jars, if I'm going to be honest. Maybe that's romantically, but I mean, and it certainly could be with that Knight of Wands and that King of Wands. It could be very sexy kind of stuff going on. And we can see that a little bit with Mars and Venus and Sag, you know. But whatever it is, it's something that you've been invested in for a while, and you're trying to decide which one you think is going to either bring you the most income, bring you the most joy, bring you the most passion, the most recognition, something like that. And it's working. It seems like you're picking something. What's coming towards you? King of Cups reversed, the Queen of Wands reversed, and the Four of Wands. Ew, you got some naysayers. Virgo, I think you got some people who are hating on you. I think you have some people who are trying to manipulate you out of an idea. The King of Cups reverse, he's going to try to manipulate you because there's something of yours that he wants that is either going to bring him some level of emotional or maybe sexual fulfillment, which could really stem from jealousy or possessiveness, something like that. And the King of Cups is Scorpio. Well, the shadow side of Scorpio is possessiveness, is jealousy. And that Queen of Wands reversed, Aries. Shadow side of Aries can be very violent, you know, but the Queen of Wands reversed is incredibly insecure within herself. And she's going to project that onto you. And that Four of Wands, I feel like if there's a celebration or you're going out or something like that, and maybe you have an idea or you're talking about some exciting things that you've accomplished or whatever, maybe like just, I don't know, either don't talk about it or find a new group of people to hang out with. Because I don't know if I really trust these people. It seems like they have something against you, but it feels more like they're projecting. And also, I feel like this could be people with bad intentions where maybe you have some level of status or maybe you're really handsome or beautiful or something like that. And these people just want to be around you so that way it's going to make them look better or something like that. So I'd be careful with that, Virgo, because I don't trust that. How you're responding to this, the Nine of Swords reversed, the Knight of Cups reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles. Well, I don't think that you're opening up at all. I think that it's definitely kind of putting you in a mood a little bit. And then you're like, okay, well, that's great. I'm just going to go ahead and focus on my money. You're staying very grounded. This is Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn. All the queens are cardinal energy. So I think that you are initiating your own success. You're staying grounded. You're very mature and you're going to worry about yourself. That's pretty much it. Your advice, House 2 reversed. And no illusions. Stay grounded in truth, embracing reality with clarity and wisdom to navigate life's journey authentically. I feel like I just kind of told you that in a way. With House 2 being reversed, I think that maybe the jealousy can be around money for you, or it can be like a difference in morals or values. Like someone doesn't align with what you value, or there's people who are jealous of what you have, whether it's a beautiful relationship, a beautiful home, a beautiful face, I don't know, whatever your thing is. So there can be some manipulative people that just want to hang around you because you can, I don't know, make them look better or something like that. But I don't think they actually like you. I hate to say that, Virgo, but be cautious, okay? You know, maybe they just want your partner or some weird shit. People are like that. Let's move on to Libra. What's up, Mia? Do you resonate more with your tropical or sidereal placements? I don't think I resonate very much with my Mars in Capricorn in the 10th house. I resonate with my Taurus rising and my Taurus moon, but I definitely see the Aries moon. Definitely. But I can get over things pretty quickly. Like I can get very angry when something emotionally upsets me, especially if I'm being pushed or whatever. But just as quickly as I got mad, I can just as quickly get over it. And so I can have an altercation with someone, and then we have a blowout or whatever. I say my piece. I usually win. At least I think I do. You know, and then I just kind of move on, but they're still stuck on it, you know, 6 hours later, and I just have completely moved on, you know, and I feel like a lot of Aries moons are like that. So yeah. You're welcome, Debbie. Thank you. So let's go ahead and move on to Libra. Libra. Nine of Wands in your energy. Okay. The Magician reversed. Even after all that, huh? The Knight of Swords. Oh. I heard No New Friends by Drake. Why am I hearing him lately? I heard No New Friends by Drake. The Nine of Wands, the Magician reversed, and the Knight of Swords. When I asked what the Magician reversed was about, I got the Three of Cups. The nines are very individualistic. Okay. It's about the self. I got here. I fought to get here. I earned this position. I XYZ. Okay. And you seem to be on a mission to understand your abilities, to understand your talents, to explore them more vastly. There's a huge focus on that for you. And it's almost like when it's like when you try to help a very independent child, you're like, here, let me help you. And they're like, no, I can do it myself. Like that is what this reminds me of. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to discover things yourself or need to understand things about yourself or go on that self journey without everyone else putting in their input or having some kind of opinion about it. And for some of you, there can be people around you who are maybe trying to be supportive, but they're being like, they're creating some level of self-doubt in your mind. And you're like, yeah, I don't want to associate with that. Even though I think that their heart may be in the right place, you're just going to like, eh. And for a lot of you, like you're standing up to someone. Okay. Some of you are drawing a line in the sand where you're like, yeah, I'm not adopting those beliefs. Because you think about the Nine of Wands, it's Moon in Sagittarius. We can become very emotionally attached to our beliefs. And there's something that you're standing up for, someone you're standing up for, someone you're standing up against, perhaps. Okay. What is this? It seems like, okay, so for some of you, there's someone who has let's say for instance that you are married, okay, and you have a spouse who's really wealthy, but you feel like you have to, like, let's say you don't work, you have to ask them for money, or they're worried about what they want to do long term, and they don't really have a consideration for you necessarily, and it's kind of like what they say goes. What's this person's genuine intent with Libra? The Page of Wands reversed. Why is that Justice reversed, or what is that about? The Star reversed. It's weird because it feels like there's a foundation, but there's a lack of compassion in some kind of connection. And I don't know if it's familial or if it's a romantic relationship. But I also think that you and somebody else do not have the same dreams or goals in regards to the future. That's what this looks like to me. And I'm wondering if this is who you're standing up to. Because that Justice reverse is somebody who's not really being very fair. And they're not being just. They're not being right. They're not being honorable. They're not being honest. And in some cases, it can be someone who's being quite selfish. They're not thinking in terms of we. They're thinking in terms of I. And I don't think that they want to hear what you have to say, or um, what do they want from Libra here? The Hangman. Yeah, I don't think that they want to hear what you have to say. It's like they want you to submit to something. They want you to submit to something and go along with it. And like for some of you, this can be, if this is a relationship or something, even if it's a family thing, it can be somebody that you had an altercation with, someone who didn't make things right, and now they're just coming back in your life and acting like nothing happened or something like that. How you're handling this: Death card, Two of Pentacles, Six of Wands. Yeah, because fuck that, right? Whoops. Libra, you're done. You're done. It's dead. You're done. You are done. I don't know if it's a friendship, a relation. I don't know what it is. But this is like a practical decision that you're making for yourself. And like, I think in some way, it's like you're standing up to this person, or you're standing up to a group of people or something, and you're being rewarded for it. There's someone who's like really proud of you. I wonder if these people, like where you had self-doubt around standing up for yourself, if these people are the ones who are like, good job, like, I knew you could do it. Maybe it's to like a boss or something. It's like somebody's in your life who won't make things right or take accountability, but they just want everything to be the way that it was. You're like, yeah, no. And like you're standing up to this person and you're getting rewarded for it. Like people are recognizing your courage or something. Of course, I'm super dramatic, so it can be something very small. We have water reversed, and then we have stay in the flow. Surrender to the rhythm of life, remaining open to opportunities and lessons as they naturally unfold. Okay. Don't allow your emotions to, like, it's okay to have emotions, obviously, but don't let them run the show. Like you may find yourself getting overly emotional about something, and that may end up making a bad decision for you. So I feel like it's asking you to be of water, not like water. Do you know what I'm saying? Being able to go with the flow, but not allowing that flow to completely consume you, not allowing yourself to be so emotionally contagious that you end up. Have you ever seen somebody who is so overly emotional that you can tell like that's where their decision making comes from, and it's just like not healthy? I don't think that you're doing that anyway, because that Two of Pentacles is there, which tells me that you're trying to be very practical in your decision making, but for some reason that's the vibe. Okay. So let's move on to Scorpio. Oh, I guess I have to get my other cards. Okay. God, this medication makes my freaking vision so blurry, dude. Let's shuffle these really quick, and then we're going to move on to Scorpio. Well, to receive answers from the right place, yes, I think that you should always meditate at least 4 times a week, I think, right? It doesn't have to be for hours. It could just be for 15 minutes. It'll keep you good, right? But when it comes to like reading for yourself, for instance, you have to take your ego out of it, okay? Which can be very difficult sometimes, but you have to take your ego out of it. So am I seeing what I want to see, or am I seeing what's actually there? Right now, the obvious ones can be like, oh, how does this person feel about me? And you pull the 10 of Swords. Come on, man. You know what that means. Like be honest with yourself, right? But like my Scorpio placements always get me into trouble. You have to try to become the highest vibration of any placement that you have, right? So for instance, Taurus placements in their lowest octave, I guess you could say, they can become highly possessive, especially when their self-worth or their self-value is very low. They can become stalkery. They can overeat, get really lazy, procrastinate. And their highest octave, they're incredibly generous, but not at the detriment of themselves. They're very beautiful people. They're great hosts. These are people who are really hard workers, but they also know the balance between work and play, and that you need both. And that's just it, right? So it's like you have to learn how to become the highest version of that sign or of that placement that you have. It's very hard for me with my Venus in Scorpio to learn how to maneuver with that, especially Venus and Scorpio in the 7th house. God help me, I didn't stand a chance, and it took me a really long time I didn't really even understand how to utilize it to the best of its ability until even I got like the idea of it and the understanding of it after going through a really long relationship, where I really sold myself very short. And so you really have to understand that placement. And because, like, for instance, if you put Mars in the sign of its fall, Cancer, you look at Mars. Mars is how we go about things, right? It's our masculine energy, which we all have. When you put it in a sign like Cancer, where it does the worst because it does the best, in the opposite sign of Cancer, which is Capricorn, which is Mars exaltation, okay? When you put it in Cancer, where Mars is very direct, right? You ever meet like a very direct Aries? They're gonna just deck you in the face, or they're gonna, or they're gonna let you know straight out that they have a problem with you. When you put it in something like Cancer, it wants to go around and it becomes very passive aggressive. So if you can like learn how to still be able to hold that masculine energy in a safe space, create a safe space for yourself and for others, and you can learn how to work with that, it can really be a very powerful placement. And it's because you've had to work harder in order to truly grow it. Okay. So for instance, like when we have exaltation planets, like I have my moon in Taurus and my Mars in Capricorn, very exalted. It's exalted, right? But sometimes we can take advantage or take it for granted because it just comes so easily to us. When we have the harder placements, we have to work harder. We have to work harder to be able to mutate them into something better than what we were born with, right? It's just like with trines. When you see trines in astrology, we sometimes take them for granted. Why? Because a trine is essentially a promise. And it's very easy. It just falls into our lap. With squares, those are the hard ones. But when you learn how to work through it, you'll have a diamond in the making kind of thing. And it's similar with those placements that you have to work a little extra harder on. So you want to look. Who asked? Did anybody even ask me this question, or did I just go off on a tangent? I literally don't even remember what was initially asked. I'm like, did anybody even ask me this, or did I just go onto a fucking tangent? Nobody asked, bitch. Welcome to my podcast. We love listening to you. Thank you. No, you answered. Okay, thanks, Kinez. I'm like, bitch, did anybody ask me any of that? Literally nobody. We love them. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Lori. Okay, well, Kelly, that's a great placement because it's in domicile. Mars does great in the first house, and it does really good in Scorpio. But even the exalted or domicile placements have their issues, right? What's up, William? All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Scorpio. Scorpio, reverse it if you need to, okay? But you're in the energy of the Emperor reversed. Page of Cups reversed, the Moon reversed. Oh, buddy, what is going on? Some of you have mommy and daddy issues that still affect you till this day. Guilty. It's okay. And you're in this energy. It's so funny because I was just kind of talking about this. You're being a little passive aggressive. I can't lie to you, Scorpio. You're being a little passive aggressive. I'm just going to be real. Okay. I try to make my brand on being very blunt and very honest, and I have to act with integrity on that. But you're being a bit of a baby. Maybe you have every reason to feel that way, but you're victimizing a situation because you're afraid. And I don't know what you're afraid of. You're victimizing yourself because you're afraid of maybe taking responsibility for something. I think that you have a very deep emotional awareness, and I think that is why you're playing this game with yourself or with another person. I think that you're very well aware of another person's emotions that they have about you. I think that you're aware of your feelings about yourself. I think that you're very aware of certain things that have happened in your life, and you're feeling fucking sorry for yourself about it. And sometimes we just need to do that. Sometimes we need to feel sorry for ourselves. We just need to go through that process, and that's it. But you're kind of doing it in this way where you feel like you don't have authority or power in a situation, and so you're kind of playing games a little bit. You're kind of playing games in order to get some level of sympathy, or what is that Moon reversed? I got to pull a new deck now. The Four of Cups reversed. Yeah, it's kind of the pity party central. Okay, please reverse this, Scorpio. If this is not you, please. This may just be somebody that you're dealing with. Okay. I heard you're beautiful. I just heard you're beautiful. I don't know if you are thinking that about somebody else or yourself, or somebody's saying that to you. Words of affirmation. I heard words of affirmation. Okay. What's coming towards them? The Hangman, Pisces, Five of Cups. Wow. The Five of Swords. Damn, Scorpio. What the fuck is this? Excuse my language. I think you have somebody else who's feeling fucking sorry for themselves as well, but they're coming from a more humble place. This is somebody that isn't really doing anything. I don't even think that they're coming towards you, if I'm going to be honest. It just seems like somebody where spirit needed to show me that this person is in your energy. This is someone who has a higher perspective of something, although I will say that the perspective that they are focused on the most seems to be the perspective of the past. And they're at this point where they feel like they just can't really win in a situation. And these two fives equate to a 10, which gives me the feeling of some kind of ending. I heard I'm waiting to see the light. I keep getting a lot of messages in your reading specifically. I'm trying to ignore everything that's coming into my head because it feels like so much at one time. Why is that 5 of Cups there? The 8 of Cups reversed. This is somebody who may have walked away from you. Why the Page of Cups reversed? The Queen of Swords. I'm not trying to laugh. I think okay, Scorpio, you are showing up very, like, I don't want to say very masculine, but you are showing up as a masculine, okay? And the reason why you're in the Page of Cups reversed energy, which is like playing, you know, emotionally manipulative games or feeling like a victim, is because somebody told you what it was. Somebody said something to you that was true, and I think that it hurt your feelings. I can't even lie to you. You know, I'm just being very honest. I just heard a song that I have not heard in forever. It's by Eminem. What are the lyrics? Well, I don't remember what the song is called, but I remember some of the lyrics. They're a little dark. I mean, surprise. He is Eminem after all. He says, I hate you. Do you hate me? Good, because you're so fucking beautiful when you're angry. That is one of the lyrics, I swear to God. I'm sorry. I'm getting really weird messages in your reading. I'm just going to move on. I'm going to move on to how you're responding to this. The 6 of Wands reversed. You feel like you need this person's attention or something. Oh, buddy. Scorpio. The 6 of Wands reversed, the Lovers reversed, the 8 of Swords reversed. You're pretty disconnected. I think that you're kind of in your ego a little bit because somebody told you the truth and I think it hurt your feelings. And so you rather just kind of disconnect from a situation. I would be careful because, you know, for a very, very, very few of you, you may be acting in infidelity, or you may be biting off more than you can chew when it comes to partners. There can also be this like blame game going on. Like you seem to be blaming the other person for something. And hey, I don't know the situation, Scorpio. Maybe they are to blame. Fuck, I don't know. But staying in this like mind frame, that 8 of Swords is like the kind of the minor arcana version of the devil. You know, it's like we're very attached to a narrative. Lovers reversed. Well, what can the Lovers reversed be? Blaming another person. You have House 4 reversed. Clear mind. Sweep away any doubts that you have and know that you are right. Are you right? Is it about a family situation? Maybe you're right. I wonder if that's why that 5 of Cups is there. Okay. So, Scorpio, House 4 reversed. This can be when we're not really feeling like we can call. I'm hearing that word higher F, which means like longing for home, but you don't know where home is, something like that. And so I don't know what that means for you. I don't know if you're needing to create your own space. What an interest. This is definitely the most interesting reading by far. And the opposite of House 4 is House 10. They look at each other. And I'm wondering if you're needing to take more authority in your life. Like, and I say that as well because that Emperor is reversed. The Emperor is very much an authority, somebody who's very much in control. When it's in reverse, they're not. Even though they could have a lot of this power, but they can't get out of a specific mindset in order to do that. And I feel like that's what you guys need to do. So it's like, okay, maybe you are right about something, Scorpio. Okay, maybe you're right about something. Great. Now that you know you're right, now what? Now what? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do about it? Okay. Because I think that sometimes we can feel so distraught and sad that we're just looking for somebody to validate our emotions. Well, here I am validating something for you. Now what? Right? Very interesting. Definitely the most interesting reading of the day. Like, hands down. I can't even lie to you. All right, Scorpio. Get to it. I don't know what you're right about, but you're right about something. All right. All right, guys, I just have to take a quick bathroom break, and then we're going to take a look at Sagittarius. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, I went downstairs and I snuck a little yogurt. These are so good. They're called We. They are so freaking my favorite yogurts. I love them. They're so good. Oops, I forgot to put this on. Hopefully you guys heard me. Anyway, these yogurts are called We, not sponsored. But they're my favorite and they're so good. And it doesn't hurt my tummy because I have a really sensitive stomach. All right. Okay, cool. What's up, Lisa? All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Sagittarius. Hi, Valeria. All right, Sag. Your energy this weekend, we have the Four of Wands. Okay. I'm not surprised. The Nine of Swords. Well, you have a lot of stuff going through your sign right now. The Justice. Some of you are concerned about a higher level of commitment, okay? With the Four of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Justice. This can show up when like we're having a good time and we're excited and all of that, but then like some level of perceived reality kicks in or potential reality kicks in with that Nine of Swords where we're worried about taking something to the next level. Maybe for some of you, this is like you found the house of your dreams this weekend, but maybe you're not really sure if you're actually going to solidify it or you're going to be able to get it for real. You know, maybe this is like you're having a really good time with someone and you guys have been dating for a while, but you're really concerned that they're never going to ask you to get engaged. You know, there's something where something is making you very excited, but then it's like, oh, well, you know, what if I'm going to have to take accountability for this? Or what if I get too close to this person and then I'm going to have to tell them the truth about this? Or the good thing is that you're being a good person. Like you're trying to be a good person, or you're trying to be very logical or stable in your own thinking regarding the Four of Wands, which can be a family, home, or a living situation, or some kind of romantic relationship. Why are we worried? The Magician. I feel like it's more around self-doubt. Okay. Or you might be paranoid that someone's just manipulating you and they're not really. All right. So it's either self-doubt or you're afraid of some level of manipulation around something. What's the Justice about? The Moon reverse. I think that you feel like you're going to have to reveal something to someone and you're like, I don't know if I really, like, I know I have to reveal this to this person, but you know, maybe you finally found somewhere that you want to rent and like everything is all well and good, but the landlord doesn't accept pets. And like you guys are getting along really well and everything seems fine. And this landlord is like willing to let you move in like tomorrow. Right. But you're like, fuck, I know I have to be honest about having a dog or a cat, you know, or whatever it is. And you're like, oh, I'm going to fuck it up. But you're trying to like do the right thing. What or whom is coming towards you? The Seven of Pentacles reverse. Be careful of like your financial investments this weekend. This is not financial advice. I'm just saying you can end up investing into something that does not follow through. The Page of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. Like, for instance, if this is a business partner or something, I think that they talk a good game, but I don't think that they're truly invested. I don't think that they're really willing to do the work. If this is a lover, same thing. It just feels like this person is a big talker, right? Because look at it, right? You see the Page of Wands. You see how he's holding that little staff, whatever the hell that thing is, that spear. It's bigger than him, right? Yeah. You know, it's kind of like a little too big for your britches. The confidence is there, but I don't know if there's really going to be necessarily a good follow through. Okay. How you're responding to this, Three of Wands. Well, we'll wait and see. That's where you're at. You're waiting to see if somebody is the walk that they talk. Okay. And you seem willing to take a chance, but I don't think you got high hopes, right? So if this is about a relationship, for instance, you're like, you know what? I have a lot of fun with this person. This person is a lot of fun. I really like them, etc. Right? Whatever it may be. But you're like, I don't really know if this is serious. You know, maybe they're like 10 years younger than you or something. And you're like, I don't know if I can really fucking take this shit seriously, you know, something like that. Your advice, fixed and stop and reflect. Okay. Pause in your journey to appreciate how far you've come and where you're headed. So it's like, you know, maybe you have a reason to celebrate something. Maybe there's something that you've accomplished in this weekend. You're having fun, you're going out, you're doing your thing, you're whatever. Like maybe you really kicked ass this week or this whole year or whatever, and like you deserve to have a little bit of fun. But you could be feeling some kind of way about it. You could be feeling like, oh well, you know, um I feel bad about my parents watching my kids tonight while I'm out and blah blah. It's like just try to have a good time. Like try to chill out and understand that you deserve to have a little fun. Not everything has to be so serious. You know, if like for instance, if you're just starting to date somebody and you are having a good time and you're kind of treating yourself and all of those things, allow yourself to bask in that. Just try to have a good time. It doesn't have to be too serious. And like Sagittarius, you guys are better at this than anyone I know, you know. My mom, daughter, and bestie are all Sages. Sagittarius stelliums, by the way. Good God help me, right? But you guys are able to do that. So do that, especially this weekend. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Can somebody create a new pinned? Can someone create a new comment that I can pin because I forgot to take off the pre-book for 20% off thing. Can someone do that? Ken has a Lawyer Complexity. Terry, I do not. It's not that I wouldn't, but I don't think that I have enough information about it to be able to like honorably read on it, I guess. Thank you, Kenneth. 1212 portal. You guys believe in that stuff? You feel like he's rushing things? Be careful of that. People who try to rush a relationship or rush intimacy with you, it's not always, doesn't always end up working out too well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my daughter is apparently that 13th sign. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying it. All right, so let's move on to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. Ace of Wands in your energy. The Nine of Wands and the Devil. Damn. Period. Capricorn, this is sexy shit, buddy. This is hot girl shit. Okay, or hot guy shit. The Ace of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Devil. It would take a whole entire army to stop you this weekend. And I don't know what you're doing. You could be focusing on some kind of fitness. Maybe you're making travel plans. Some of you were just, I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you are getting laid and it's really good. Some of you are getting laid and it's really good. But, okay. When, in my opinion, when your major arcana shows up in the upright for your energy, that to me is you showing up in your highest vibration. Your boundaries are steady. You know, your determination, the level of empowerment that you have for yourself and what it is that you're doing with the energy you have. I mean, Some of you are winning at something. You're like coming out on top in a situation that you thought you may not have. You're very motivated to finish something. You're motivated to see something to the end. Because that Nine of Wands, this is something that you have been working on, fighting for, going after, pursuing for a long time. What is this about? The Nine of Cups reversed. Well, it can be around a little bit of a selfish desire, okay? Or, you know, which is, being selfish is not always that bad. I think that we really like vilify or villainize being selfish. Sometimes we need to do that instead of putting ourselves, that's why Aries exists, right? To teach us that. But it's around something that was not given to you or something you didn't get before. There's this relentlessness that you have around obtaining whatever it is, but you didn't get it before. It's a wish unfulfilled that you're deciding to fulfill for yourself, but this time you're fighting for it. Damn, this is sexy. I can't even lie, Capricorn. This is pretty sexy. Oof. The High Priestess for what's coming towards you. 10 of Wands. You are hitting the final push, baby. 9 of Wands to the 10 of Wands. Oh my goodness. The King of Pentacles. It's like you've reached some next level of your potential. You are, some of you, there's a very desirable person around you that is very attractive, that has a lot of potential. Somebody very intuitive or just sexy, okay? The unattainable. The High Priestess can be like the unattainable goal or the unattainable person. And you're getting it. The 10 of Wands with that King of Pentacles. It can be some kind of commitment. Maybe it's that brand deal that you want. Maybe it's that business partner. Maybe it's a lover. Maybe it's an ex. Something like you're getting it this weekend. Like you're accomplishing something. I heard it's the missing piece. It's my missing piece. Period. Wow. You're going after it and you're actually getting it. You're actually getting whatever the thing is that you didn't get before. You're getting it. And it's because you're showing some level of relentlessness, some kind of motivation. It's very inspiring. You're very inspired and inspiring. Oh, buddy. Be careful. You may bite off more than you can chew with this one. And I say that because whatever this thing is, it's going to force you to break a pattern or break a cycle. It's going to force you to evolve. It's going to force you to level up. You're only ready if you want to be ready. This is like somebody who will not let go of whatever this is. Like holding on so tight. An army of 500 could not rip it out of your claws. What the fuck? You have House 9 reversed. And then New Worlds. There are many more things for you to discover, so don't give up. Well, that's what House 9 can be. It can be about kind of new worlds because it can talk about travel in foreign places. Are some of you traveling? Like this is asking you to expand your horizons a little bit. But also, because house 9 is reversed, don't forget house 3. And house 9 is where we can see the big picture and we're optimistic and it's just the big picture, right? But house 3, this is how we get to house 9, in my opinion. It's like, having a certain mindset, having a certain level of education, or getting things together, right? Getting the little details of something together. So, I don't know, expand your horizons on something, Capricorn, but that looks great. Right. Eating my lunch. Okay. Aquarius. 5 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles reverse. 2 of Wands reverse. You're working harder, not smarter. This can also be when we go broke trying to look rich. Whether that's spiritually, emotionally, materially. You are overdoing things in order to feel like you mean something. You're overdoing things in order to prove something to others, to yourself, and you're losing yourself in the process. I think that for a lot of you, this can be around how you're making money or how you do value yourself and how that shows up in your relationships and your actions on a day-to-day basis. But for that 5 of Pentacles to be there, this can be where we feel like something is missing, or we feel left out in the cold. We feel abandoned. We feel sad. We feel broke. We feel like we don't belong in some way. And the 9 of Pentacles reverse is like, well, I belong. Let me show you how much I belong. Or let me show you how much money I don't have, like trying to prove something, show something. But you're needing to kind of abandon this thought process or the way that you manage or make your money. Again, it's not financial advice or anything, but there may be a different way to go about making money. Like for instance, if you're an Aquarius rising, right? Whole sign house, you have Pisces in your whole sign second house. We have Saturn and Neptune there. Things could feel a little foggy. We could feel like we're coming up on some roadblocks in regards to our money, in regards to what we spend, in regards to how we budget, etc. But whatever your placement is, I mean, this is the vibe. What's coming towards you is the Ace of Cups. Oh, thank God. That's some level of reprieve, I feel. The 6 of Cups. Love that. The 2 of Swords. This is somebody who's bringing you an oasis in the middle of a desert. Let's call it that. This is somebody you already know, but they have something new to offer you. It can be something creative. It can be help. It can be love. It can be advice. This is somebody who is bringing some kind of gift to you. 6 of Cups can be like a gift from God in some way. That is going to bring you some level of peace with that 2 of Swords. And that's this weekend. The way you're responding to this, good. It's putting you in the right frame of mind. The Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords. You're here to learn. You're here to start brand new. The King of Wands reverse. Maybe you're not ready to lead completely in that direction yet, right? But the fact that you're so receptive to this advice or this help that somebody is giving you, it's actually allowing you to change your circumstances. Maybe this is a YouTuber who's really great with like stocks or something. And this is somebody you've watched before. And it's like, oh wow, you know, they say something or they make a video that makes you be like, holy shit, I can do that. I can do that super easy, you know, or something. And so you're learning something. Page of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. You have some kind of idea. Somebody inspires you to move forward with some kind of idea that you have. You have Taurus. Taurus is money. Taurus is about money, self-worth, self-value, your finances, your budgeting, things like that. And then we have higher wisdom, so needing to learn things around those topics. Explore options, learn what you can, and expand your horizons. Literally what I just told you. You're already doing that. So if things get like, feel a little weird this weekend, don't freak out and think it's going to be like that forever. It's just, you're going to learn an easier way to do something or earn or something like that. Thanks a lot, Aquarius. All right, Pisces. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. Not mad at that. The Queen of Wands. Wow. And the Temperance. Pisces. This is hot girl shit. Not only are you grounded, well-versed in what you know, you're also leading in some way. You're taking the lead. You don't really care what anybody thinks anymore. You're pretty content with where your life's at. You're looking really good, doing whatever it is that you're doing. You're taking care of yourself really well. You feel very balanced between feeling passion towards something and actually grounding it into reality. I don't have anything bad to say. I mean, this is a really, you're two queens away from an empress. Like you're really evolving, Pisces. You're really evolving. I even think that's for some of you, looks wise, you're evolving as well. Okay, I just heard looks maxing. Okay, well, I don't know if that's you, but you're creating something in your life that you at one point thought was impossible this weekend. The Seven of Wands for what's coming towards you. The Ace of Pentacles reversed. The Three of Cups. What's this person's intent with Pisces? The Page of Cups. What's the Seven of Wands about, or why is it there? The Three of Swords reverse. There can be someone around you who's trying to maintain a connection with you, or trying to make sure that you don't, like if you had a business deal or an agreement with someone, or maybe you had a date or something like that, they're trying to make sure that you don't cop out of it. Okay. This person seems to be competing for your friendship or for your attention in some way. This is somebody that you have either caused pain before, or they caused you pain, or both. But their intention is the Page of Cups. It could be an apology, or it could be some level of an invitation. I don't think that they have bad intentions. They're trying to maintain like a friendship or some kind of plan you guys had, because you may be trying to swoop out of it, or they're trying to make sure they don't miss their opportunity. What is the nature of it? The Strength reversed. You could feed this person's ego a little bit. You could feed this person's ego a little bit, or pride, or you could even be this person's weakness if this is like a love thing. This could also be where they don't want to hold back anymore, and they may be letting you take the lead in regards to something where they're kind of falling back. How is Pisces responding to this? The Page of Swords reverse. I don't think you. Okay, the Emperor. Damn. The Knight of Cups. So what's leading the pack here? The Page of Swords reversed. The Page of Swords reversed likes to show up when we don't trust someone, or we think that we know something about a person, we're assuming the worst, right? It can kind of be that energy. So it seems like you are the one that is taking the lead in this regard, because you feel like you feel like you need to, but there is some affection behind all of that brick exterior. Okay. There is some emotion behind that brick exterior. I heard don't be coy. Okay, well, you have sextile reversed, and you have transform and rise. Your journey of transformation unlocks vast potential, guiding your evolution to new heights. I don't feel like an opportunity is necessarily going to be brought to you. I think that you're going to have to create them yourselves. And I think that you're meant to create the opportunities. Doesn't mean you're never going to get an opportunity, but specifically this weekend, there's an opportunity that you may need to take initiative on it. You may need to be the one that creates it. Okay. All right, that's what I have for you. Time to move on to my super chatters. Okay. Okay, super chatter number 1. All right, let me see. Okay. What may cause it to crumble is that somebody becomes paranoid that the other person wants somebody from the past, to be honest with you. That could be the reason. Like something, or somebody's paranoid about a situation and is kind of forced to take accountability for it, to be honest. Like something that someone has to end up confessing that they don't necessarily want to, and it's about something or someone from the past. And somebody else can kind of be in their head about it, but also very like aware of whatever that is. Um, let me see. If he knows anybody that you associate with, or if he has like a hidden profile or something like that, I would say definitely that way. But it can also be around your connections. So for instance, if you have some friends, this is just an example, okay? But if you have some friends and you end up going out with them, and then he's like watching their stories or something like that and seeing you in the pictures or whatever it may be. But it can be like a low key profile, or a feminine who may be informing him with that Empress reversed. It could also be that the new one is the one that ends up spying on you and he catches her or something like that. All right. Okay, number 2. And you're not being depressing. You don't have to preface that with your question. It's really okay. Let me see. The Knight of Pentacles, because things are just moving slow right now. You know, and to be fair, the job market is absolutely crashing right now. If you live in America, it's absolutely crashing right now. I mean, it's so bad. It really is so bad. I don't know if you've kept up with the news or anything, but it's pretty bad. Yeah, see, things are going really slow right now. Something, in my opinion, for you, you are being asked to let go of a very tried and true way of doing what it is that you do. So, for instance, I was a waitress all my life. Okay, I was a waitress all my life until one day like for years, I just felt this fire burning in me. I couldn't understand what it was. I was just like, this is not it. This is not it. I feel like I'm selling myself so short. Right. And um, then I ended up creating my own brand and my own business back in 2016. And I didn't realize that's what it was going to be at that time, but I did. And I ended up working for myself. So, but I had to deconstruct everything that I knew about how I was working. I had to understand that I didn't actually have to work harder. I could work easier. I could work in a less stressful environment and make more money. And sometimes it's these alternative methods. And there were so many people who called me crazy when I was doing, like, oh, okay. Like they just, but I did it. You know what I'm saying? And so who's saying that you can't do that as well? Yeah, see, like fantasize a little bit. Like for instance, let's say that you want to be a tarot reader. Okay, let's say you want to be a tarot reader and you start to look into the tarot community. Maybe you talk to a couple of other people that are trying to be tarot readers, and maybe you guys create a little tarot community group, or channel or something like that. I'm not saying you want to be a tarot reader, but needing to create something for yourself by yourself and then incorporate others into it. Learning from others, Three of Pentacles, them learning from you. And the Seven of Cups is asking you to explore your options, like explore things that you maybe always wanted to do, but you never thought you could. Neptune right now is officially direct at 29 degrees in Pisces, its home sign. Here is your last breath in Pisces, the dreamy, oh my God, I can do anything, and making it possible with Saturn there. Saturn is there as well, saying you can have this dream, you can do this thing. What are you going to do about it? Get real about it. Get real about your dreams. What have you learned thus far? You know what I'm saying? So I hope that helped. Thanks, number 2. Number 3. Okay, let me see. So the first question, if you will be with this person in 2026. Six of Pentacles reverse and the King of Swords reverse. I feel like there's a back and forth and a lot of breadcrumbing going on from his side. This is Aquarius energy and gaslighting, potentially around finances or money, or maybe he's just really stingy. Are they together at all in this coming year? The Chariot reversed, the Ten. I hate to say it to you. I absolutely hate to say that to you because I love you to pieces. But that Chariot reverse and that Ten of Cups, this is like when one of those children's toys, and it has like the shapes in it, like the star and the square and the blah blah blah, right? And this is like you trying to take one of those blocks, and it's a square shape, and you're trying to shove it into the star hole, and it's like not, and then you end up breaking the whole fucking box. You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like trying to force it. I hate to say that, but that's what it feels like. I'm sorry, baby. But maybe something changes. You know what I mean? Something can always change. Maybe he ends up knowing what is good for him. Excuse me. Maybe he's just being stupid right now. Number 4. Okay. Oh, thank you. All right, let's see. The Knight of Wands. Okay. Hmm. There's a lot of movement, but there's also a lot of work behind the scenes. I think that you are making progress, but I think that you know that sometimes your passions this, or maybe you don't know yet, but your passions this year can be very. You can be very optimistic about them. You can be very excitable about what it is that you're wanting to go after. But then you're also realizing you need to kind of do some work behind the scenes in order to match the passion that you have for what it is that you're passionate about. So this can be like, oh my God, you go to this spoken word one night for this poetry, and you go there and you're so inspired by all of the poetry that you heard. And you're like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to write a book. But you actually go home and like you actually do that, or you going after your passions and it's healing you in the process. So I think that you're taking a lot of action, but you're also doing a lot of behind the scenes work as well. The King of Cups reversed and the Five of Wands reversed. You can be a little standoffish to love this year, okay, with that King of Cups reversed. And that Five of Wands reversed. Yeah, you don't seem very open for some reason. I think that you end up encountering some kind of like dramatic situation, some kind of drama between you and someone else, and now you're like full stop trying to avoid it. So I don't know if it seems like something happens in 2026 where there's some kind of romantic drama and you're like, fuck that, I'm never opening up to anyone again, or something like that. Okay. Maybe it's not that dramatic. Thanks a lot, number 4. Number 5. Okay, let me see. No. The Knight of Swords versus the Seven of Swords. Um, if you do that, I think that you can find that this person ends up becoming quite avoidant, just going with the flow, avoiding accountability, avoiding conversation, avoiding the truth, a little bit in self-preservation mode. So I don't think you're going to get a lot out of this person through that tactic or whatever you want to call it. Love you, baby. Thank you. All right, number 6. Okay, well, this is a different scenario. I mean, it's only a 2-card pull, but I mean, this is somebody who feels like with that Hierophant and that Sun, that yeah, maybe you're a little stubborn sometimes, but you're somebody who either has really good morals or you have a foundation for who you are. The Sun is who we are, right? It's our self, it's our life force. And this person feels like you're pretty grounded in regards to that. They feel like you are a commitment kind of partner. You would be a committal kind of partner. This is somebody that they feel like when you walk in, you're just kind of like you make it like just them feel like they're sitting in a room full of sunshine. You are a joy to this person's life. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, if this is kind of their thoughts about you, it makes me wonder if they feel like they're ready for what you have to offer or what you have to give. Mm. Thanks, number 6. Number 7. Aw, thank you. Happy holidays to you too, number 7. Okay, let's see. What's this? Okay, travel. I would say travel, number 7. Eight of Wands, the World reversed, even if that's going back to a place that you may have been before. This can also be some old projects that you may have left in 2025 that you need to finish. I don't think that you realize something that you maybe started in 2025, maybe you started in 2024. You may not realize the full potential of some kind of project or something that you've been working on. And you won't know it until you finish it. And so this is asking you to initiate whatever that unfinished business is. Okay. But I also think it's travel. I think you're needing to focus on learning or some level of education, maybe writing, any kind of mercurial things, right? Talking, commuting, communicating, commuting as well. Writing, podcasting, reading, things like this, courses, creating them, creating content, but there's an air of Sagittarius with it. So it kind of makes me feel like it is something to do with travel, maybe publishing something. The Queen of Cups reversed and the Fool. Okay, it's time to break free now. There's something that may have caused you a lot of trust issues, caused you a lot of emotional issues, caused you to emotionally react even out of your character. Maybe you just felt really down, or you didn't trust your own intuition. Those days need to be over, whatever that may be for you. Those days need to be over. This is now the time where you need to let bygones be bygones. It doesn't mean that you necessarily even have to forgive someone. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to allow people back in your life that broke your trust. That's not what I'm saying. But now, instead of still being in that feeling mode, you're needing to take the wisdom that you've acquired from said experience, and you're needing to throw the rest out. Like the hate, the anger, any of those crappy emotions, they have to go, because they can't come with you on this brand new path. The Fool is about traveling light. Okay. And so you're needing to trust more in your path and why you've had the experiences that you've experienced. Okay. Thank you, baby. It's always good to see you. Happy holidays. All right. And last but not least, let me go ahead and shuffle these really quick. Okay. Okay. So number 8, hello. What does this person really think of us or of the both of you? Let's see. I think he has a hard time letting this go sometimes, but there's some level of disconnect that he's feeling, either because of another person, like a third party situation, or he's having a hard time not blaming you for something in the connection with that death. Because the death reverse, this can be where something is not changing, or there's a refusal to let go of a certain way of thinking, a certain way of doing things, etc. And with that Lovers reverse, it can be around feeling like you guys don't have a strong foundation all the time. Like maybe there's a lot of miscommunications or a lot of arguments about politics or religion or spirituality or values or whatever it may be. And sometimes he feels like he needs to become indifferent to the situation, or he feels like he needs to just think logically about the situation. What does he want out of this? The Two of Pentacles reversed, the Five of Cups reversed, and the Devil reversed. I think that he sometimes feels like you guys may have an unhealthy attachment to one another. He may want forgiveness or may want to forgive you, or there's something from the past that he feels like really weighs down your connection or weighs him down in some kind of way. And he wants to drop that. He wants to detach from whatever that is. He doesn't want to feel like a slave to whatever that is anymore. Or he wants you guys to be in a healthier place. Something like that. What is his true feelings for her? The Star reversed. The Three of Pentacles, okay. The Eight of Swords reversed. I mean, you know, I think he gets along with you in regards to some things. He feels like you guys work well together on maybe projects or on common goals. Like maybe you guys in some ways want the same things, but he feels like there's a lack of healing between the two of you, which causes him to lack faith or lack hope in the situation. And I think that he, while he's like, yes, there are common goals that I think that we both have. What's that Eight of Swords reversed? The Seven of Cups. But he kind of feels like it's just a pipe dream, or not a pipe dream. It's just like a fantasy. Like maybe he gets really, I mean, you're obviously more than just this, but he may get bogged down in like the fantasy of you or the sex or something like that, as opposed to the reality of the situation. What can she expect from him? The Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. I think that you might be a little bit more mature than he is with that Queen of Pentacles. I think that you're also more committed than he is. I'm just being honest with you. That Knight of Wands does show me that he's, you know, showing up at your house or your job or whatever it is. He's flirty, he's fun, he's being cute and stuff like that. And, you know, no harm, no foul. But with that Queen of Pentacles, it feels like in some ways you may be the more stable or mature one out of this. So it's going to feel like you're playing with the boy, or it's going to feel like he's very unserious or something. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Your advice for this, Capricorn reversed. Hidden keys. Put things together piece by piece to reveal the bigger picture. I listen, that Capricorn energy, I think it's asking you to make sure that you have healthy boundaries with this person. I think that this is going to continue to be a lot of work, and maybe it'll be worth it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know you guys, and I don't know the situation. But it's also telling you not to, like, yes, you can think bigger picture and what you want long term, but you're needing to ask yourself honestly, especially when it says, you know, put things together piece by piece to reveal the bigger picture. Like that's how you make a picture, is the details of things, right? Looking at the details of things. Does he talk kindly to me when he's angry? You know, is he generous, right? Is he a generous person? Is he a good person? Does he have integrity? What does he do when nobody's watching? And maybe needing to ask yourself that as well, you know, in regards to the connection based on however the two of you are together. Okay. Because I think that once you can be very honest about those things, like for instance, maybe you're the one that doesn't want to commit and he's actually a really great guy. I don't know, right? And it's like, look at how this person treats you. Doesn't mean that you have to be with this person, right? But look at how this person treats you. Does that live up to your standard, right? Or vice versa, or whatever it is. Thanks a lot, darling. Happy holidays. Let's move on to the next super chat question here. I see my baby in here. What's up, number 9? Oh, I love you too. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay. I asked Spirit what you're great at that you could utilize to the best of your advantage. First thing I thought of when I saw the Nine of Pentacles is your appearance. Okay. The fact that you're attractive, the fact that you can actually be quite feminine when you want to be, or just that you are very quite feminine. I think that there may be something about you where, because you think about the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles knows how to enjoy his or her life, right? In this case, her life. The Nine of Pentacles knows how to enjoy her life and then some. This is Moon and Taurus. Moon and Taurus definitely knows how to enjoy its life, right? And so I feel like it's more so about you finding ways or knowing how to find ways, being resourceful enough to be able to find ways where you can work smarter, not harder, and live your life to the fullest and truly enjoy your life. I think that you're somebody who is naturally abundant, but when you're in a state of feeling too masculine or feeling like you have to be masculine, or you have to be the man in the relationship, or maybe you feel like you have to prove, when you're in, if you feel that way, like you have to prove something or you have to overgive or overpromise in order to feel worthy or something, you don't have to do that. You already have these natural qualities about you where you don't have to push or prove anything to anyone. You will naturally realize that once you can give to yourself, and you just keep giving to yourself and you put yourself first and it's about what you want, you'll find that other people put you first in turn. And this is something that I don't know if you realize or not, but you have the natural ability to do and to attract. This is double Venus energy. This is Venus and Virgo. This is Moon and Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. You're a natural attractor for the good things, but you have to believe that you are the good thing that attracts in the first place. There's something about money here. Again, there's something about not needing to overdo it. I think that what you're really needing to do is find some kind of balance in your life, especially financially, maybe, or even just like how you make money potentially. There can also be this part of you that sometimes feels like you're either not attractive enough or not lovable enough, or that you're missing something. And so you feel like you have to overgive, or again, you have to prove something when you don't need to do those things. You're going to find that once you actually just start focusing on yourself and you put that energy, like the energy and love that you give to everybody else, and you put that into you, you're going to realize the people, places, experiences, and opportunities that you can actually attract that's in your highest good. Okay. So don't try too hard. Not saying that's what you're doing, but you don't need to. You are naturally feminine and abundant. You don't need to do that. All right, number 10. What will happen with the person on your mind? All right, let's see. The Knight of Swords reverse and the Ten of Wands. This person may be trying to avoid some level of responsibility. Okay. You may find that they're a little passive, or they're not being very honest with you about everything. You may feel like they're kind of holding on to a lot. There may be some kind of conversation that ends to some level of completion. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a definitive ending or anything like that. But the Ten of Wands is where something has kind of completed a course and now we need to begin again. So it can't just be like a new chapter between the two of you, but it feels like this becomes very burdensome or ends up feeling pretty heavy. And it can be because you're feeling like somebody is being too mm, passive or passive aggressive, or they're too triggered, or they're too sensitive, or something like that, or you are, and then it causes a burden on them or what have you. Okay. Thanks a lot, number 10. I appreciate you so much. Number 11. Okay. Let me see. Compassion with boundaries. I think that you don't realize that you have an incredible perspective, especially somebody who is very empathic to others, and you can see two sides to things. You can make great sacrifices for people, but not at the detriment of yourself or to create some kind of great suffering. It's compassion and empathy with boundaries, and your ability to have that, to understand that you can have this love and you can have this empathy for me and this compassion, but not to the point of my detriment, or you don't get to walk all over me or disrespect me, etc. So you are really able to do that. It's a talent or it's a gift that you have. You just need to implement it, or you need to apply it in some way. Yeah, see, it's like you being able to see both sides of things. It's a good Pisces kind of Libra quality that you have to you. You're able to see through things as well. You just have to trust it, I think. You have a great ability to be more high vibrational. So like if somebody is, let's say, trying to play games with you or trying to get something out of you, instead of just letting it go by the wayside, you may have a great ability to be like, listen, I kind of feel like you're attempting to manipulate because X, Y, and Z. Why do you feel the need to do that instead of just show up as your authentic self? Or you can have a great way of doing that. Again, I think you just need to implement it, because I think you have, again, great perspective and being able to see through things. You just need to make that apparent when you feel like it's necessary. And sometimes you don't want to do that, though. Sometimes you want to keep some cards close to the chest. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's your level of intelligence mixed with compassion. What else? Yeah, see, you have a great knack for knowing the truth, but I think that you doubt yourself sometimes, because your intuition, like the intuition that you have been gifted with, I think is truly great. But I think that you sometimes resist the potential of it because maybe you want to see good in others or whatever it is. And so what you end up doing is you end up attracting low vibrational experiences or people that maybe don't meet some level of standard that you've set for yourself. So like, so you keep accepting it. So for instance, I used to use this example with my clients all the time, where imagine that you are you, okay, and you show up to the universe's house, and the universe is like, hey, I made you some clam chowder, right? And so they grab you a bowl of clam chowder and they put it in front of you, and you're like, okay. And so you eat the clam chowder, right? And then the universe sees that you ate the entire bowl of clam chowder, and they're like, all right, awesome. I'm going to go grab you another bowl. And then the universe grabs you another bowl of clam chowder, and then you're eating the clam chowder. But what the universe doesn't really know is that you don't fucking like clam chowder, but you keep eating the shit anyway. So what is the universe supposed to assume? That you like clam chowder, or that you don't like clam chowder? Well, it's going to be based on your actions. So if you say, I don't like clam chowder, I would like something else, and then you act in accordance with that, you push the bowl away from you, no thanks. You're probably not going to get clam chowder again, or even if you do, it's just going to be a test. Are you still going to accept the shit that you don't like, or are you going to be like, fuck off, no thanks? You know what I'm saying? And you have an uncanny ability to do this. Again, you just need to implement it. So your advice regarding love for the coming months: don't waste your time. As soon as you know, when you feel it in your gut and it's a waste of time, act on it. Don't eat the clam chowder. King of Swords, it's asking you to be logical, speak your truth. If you feel like for instance, let's say that you go out with somebody and you're actually looking for a real honest to God commitment, and you can tell that they're already trying to get you in bed. You know, assert your boundary. They keep trying. You say, you know what? I can tell that maybe we're looking for different things. I really appreciate this date. I hope that you find the love of your life. But I'm going to have to end this for now. You know, it's like being very communicative and not being afraid to assert your boundaries or tell someone what you think about something. The Knight of Cups. Okay. The Seven of Wands. I feel like you might have some people competing for you this coming year. Okay, that could certainly be it. Okay. Um, Again, this is pointing to your boundaries, in my opinion. All right. That King of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Seven of Wands. People are going to want what you have with that Seven of Wands, okay, for better or for worse. And that's fine. You can open up. You have to be able to open up to see whom or what is available to you. If you don't, you're just going to be stuck in your room for the rest of your life, right? Like me. Okay. But again, needing to mix that gorgeous emotional compassion that you do have with your perspective and your logic as well. Okay. Because it's all about your perspective. You have a great perspective, you have great intuition. Again, you're just needing to apply it. So I feel like it's everything that I basically just told you. All right. So let's get you you have Square reversed. Make things easier on yourself. Like I was saying on Tuesday when I did my live stream, life is already hard. You know, I promise you it's going to be hard. You know, you just don't have to make it harder on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Life is already hard, baby. You know, leave that to the world. The world's going to make it hard. You don't have to make it hard, though. So, again, if you know that somebody is just trying to use you, or you know somebody's just trying to mess with you, or whatever it is, like you already peeped it. You listen to your intuition. It'll save you a lot of years and a lot of shame and a lot of sadness and a lot of heartache. And then it says Pathfinder, trust your inner compass. See? Trust your inner compass to illuminate your path through love and career, revealing the direction your soul wishes to explore. So again, leave yourself open, but listen to yourself. It literally says, trust your inner compass. That will be the path of illumination for you. Okay. Thanks a lot, darling. All right, you guys, I got to get out of here. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much to my gorgeous mods, Lori, Complexity, and Kennez. Thank you guys so much. Nicole, thank you so much for being a dragon. I love you to pieces. I really appreciate that. Of course, I'm honored to have you. And I will see you guys. I don't know. I might just do like a random live here one of these days, or maybe on this weekend. It is my daughter's birthday on Saturday, so probably not then. Maybe something on Sunday. I don't know. But you guys, as always, thanks for being here. I hope you'll give it a like, share, and a comment if you have not already. And also, if you would like to book a personal reading with yours truly, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.